As we begin studying quadratic functions, one of the first things that we'll be doing is graphing quadratic functions. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to graph a quadratic function in vertex form. Right, we did an activity in class and we found out that when we graph anything that has a squared on it, we will end up getting a U-shaped figure, and a lot of the characteristics of the quadratic function are the same as absolute value functions. So if we are decent at graphing absolute value functions, quadratic functions should be no problem at all. Right, we're going to be just graphing parabolas in vertex form, and vertex form is going to look like this: x minus h squared plus k. This is actually very similar again to the absolute value. When we are doing this problem, if you recall, when we did absolute value, whatever this was inside, we always moved. We're going to move to the left or the right, but then I'm going to put that it's going to be opposite of what we would expect. All right, and then this plus k, whatever number that is, it's just going to help us move up or down, and that will help us decide where the vertex is. And then with absolute values, we had a was the slope. Well, this will decide the steepness or the wideness or the narrowness of the graph, but we can't just go up 2 over 1 or something like that, because we don't have a constant slope when we're dealing with quadratic functions. So we are just going to go ahead and get started and see how we do. Let's say I have y equals 2, x minus 1 squared plus 3. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is decide where I'm going to start. This minus 1 is going to force me to go to the right 1, and then the plus 3 will make me go up 3. So we're going to, from the middle, we're going to go to the right 1, and then up 3 and put a point. And I'm actually going to put a V next to that to remind myself that that is the vertex. All right, we know it's going to open up because this number in front of the parenthesis is positive, so it's going to be opening up. What we're going to do, instead of just doing the slope with the 2, we are going to find something that's called the 0 point. So I'm going to put 0 comma something. So we are going to put 0 in for the x and see what we get for a y value. So if I plug 0 in, 0 minus 1 is negative 1, negative 1 squared is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5. So our 0 point is 0, 5. So we're going to go to the point 0, 5, which would be right here. Okay, we're going to start at a vertex. We know that the quadratic function will have a U shape, so I'm going to start at the vertex and try to make a nice smooth curve that goes through that point. And then what we're going to do is just mirror that on the other side, just like what we do with absolute values. So that's what that parabola would look like. All right, let's try another one. Let's say I have y equals negative x plus 4 squared plus 10. Just do that. All right, so from here, first thing that we're going to do, this plus 4 inside is going to make me move to the left 4, and then the plus 10 on the outside is going to make me move up 10. So I'm going to, from the middle, we'll go to the left 4, and then we'll go up 10, and we'll put a point, and we're going to label it B. That is going to be our vertex. All right, we next are going to then, so that vertex is, the vertex is negative 4, 10. The next thing we're going to do is find the 0 point. So we're going to go into this equation and we're going to plug in 0 for the x. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 squared is 16. But then we have a negative sitting on the outside, which will make it negative 16. And then negative 16 plus 10 is negative 6. So the point 0, negative 6 is on our graph, which will be right there. So we are going to start at the vertex, and then we are going to go from the vertex. We're going to try to make a smooth curve. Whoops, I somehow didn't get my shape in there. We're going to try to make a smooth curve as much as we can to go through that point, and then we'll curve it going the other way. We're just going to try to mirror it. So hopefully yours is a little bit smoother than mine. Please notice that it doesn't come to a V. It's a nice smooth turnaround, and we try to make it as smooth as we possibly can. So hopefully now you're a little bit familiar with graphing a parabola in vertex form.